Fifth dimension. What is it? See this? See this word? It says silk, right? Now read this word. And on the count of 3, say it. But don't say it out loud. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Did you hear it? Who said it? How did you hear it? If you do not speak it out loud, how did you hear it if there's no vibration? This changes the meaning of sound and memory, right? Because we know that sound is translated through vibration, right? So what is it? What is this voice? Where does it come from? This voice is in the soul. It's not that you said it in your mind, but it's that you said it in your being. So now, I want you to look at this picture. Look at this. Carton of milk. On the count of 3, I'm going to ask you to close your eyes and see it. 1, 2, 3. How can you still see it? How can you still see these words? How can you still see it? Who's seeing it? What eyes are seeing it? What eyes are seeing past and future? You can literally close your eyes and see the past. People do it every day. That's why a lot of people get depressed, because they're living in the past. They keep reliving this thing or this experience that happened to them. They're literally seeing the past. Who is seeing the future? Who is seeing the things that we fear to happen or not to happen? Who is seeing it? What eyes are seeing it? It's another sight. So I'm going to ask you another question. What is the sight that can see beyond time and can see beyond space? What is the sight that can see past a constructed illusion? Before you can answer that question, there's some things you have to understand. You are not the flesh. You are the soul, the energy, and the conscious that moves the flesh. So you can think of it like a car. Like, this is your vehicle. And what moves that car? It's the gas. You are the energy for your vehicle. You are the conscious being for your vehicle. So what does that mean in that? Death is an illusion. It is a boundary to keep you from ascending to the 5th dimension. That person that sees all things without time and space and hears things without any vibration is immortal. That is something you have to accept too. So that person that sees all things beyond time and space and hears things without vibration is immortal and is in another dimension. And it is in all of us. So what does this mean? The body is only 3D. It can go up, down, left, and right. It is only 3D. What is 5D? 5D is in and out. Right? Have you ever heard about meditation techniques about breathing life into you? That's why they have you take breathing classes when you're giving birth. Try it. Just close your eyes. Feel the life coming into you. And when you breathe out, push out anything that attaches to you that drains your life. So next, you have to accept, first remember, right, that death is an illusion. Well, why is it illusion? Why is it a boundary? It's a boundary because it discloses from the understanding that you exist outside of this body, outside of your vehicle. You exist. It isn't the 5D world is not a place you can go to. You can't fly to it. You can't take a UFO and be there. It is a higher conscious state of being. That's how you ascend to that place. How do you get there? How do you find these understandings? How do you find the truth? How do you know what I am saying is true? Have you ever just heard something and it just resonated with inside you? So if you're beginning in the spiritual world, you can, what I used to do to learn how my body would respond to me between truth and lies, I would tell myself things that I know are true. So I would be like, my given birth name was Ariel Janae Musi, and I would focus on my feeling. I would focus on how my body was feeling, what was resonating, what was truth, right? And then I would go on with a lot of true statements. I like to use things that impact my life a lot. So my dog passed away June 2nd, 2013. I focus on that feeling, what resonates, right? And then I'll switch it and I'll say something that I know is not true, and I'll focus on the difference in response. So this is how you find truth within yourself. So talk to yourself more, meditate, silence the mind, go through your affirmations, right? And once you're good in that state, shut your eyes, shut your mouth, and go within, because there's a garden inside of there. That's in my self-love video. When you go within, ask yourself, what are you? What do you know that you are? What would you know that you are without the fear of what other people are going to think about what you think or know you are? What would you know you are if you had no fear of looking crazy? What would you understand your being to be if judgment was not a factor? What is in your being? Where are you living? Keep asking yourself those questions. What is in your being? Where are you living? When are you free? Because a lot of us are slaves here on this earth. How do you know when you're free? You're free when you know what happens to you here is not your only reality. I'm going to say that one more time. You know you are free when you know that what happens to you here is not your reality. You are not the flesh, but you are the spirit. You are not the outer voice, but you are the inner voice. I love to look at the story in the Bible of when Jesus is being crucified. How did he make it through that? How did he walk all of those miles being beaten and slandered and whipped and still standing up for everything he believed in, and at the end of it crucified, had nails jabbed into his hands and his feet, and he stood there bleeding until he died, still believing in the same thing, still having faith in the same thing? How did he do this? Because he was free. Because in those moments he knew that he was not this body. He said, do what you want to this body, because I am not that. I am not what this body is. I am a higher being. I am a higher conscious. I am not the outer voice, but I am the inner voice. I am not the outer, but I am what is inside. And what happens when you get to that understanding? What happens when you get to live in that 5D reality? Now your outer voice has power. Now your outer voice means something. Now it's something. Why? Because when you speak, it isn't hollow. When you speak, it isn't coming from your shell. It isn't coming from your ego. It's not coming from the character you created to fit into society. It is coming from your being. Your being is speaking. Your being from that fifth dimension where the kingdom of God is. And this is how you start to manifest, right? Because this is the beauty of it. This is when you can command reality and when it will start to work for you. Why? Because it is working with your conscious. And your conscious is what creates in this outer world. It is not the shell speaking, but the 5D speaking. And when the being speaks, all of nature in the universe responds. Why? Because it is all one source conscious. I love teaching. I love helping you guys to elevate. I hope this video answers so many questions for you all. And I hope after hearing this video, you go to my YouTube channel, Ariel's Light, that's ARRIELLS, Light, and you go in depth on these lessons that I've been teaching you so that you can understand the whole of this reality. One love. I hope to see all of you here so soon. Because let me tell you, being free is the most beautiful thing in this world. To remove your shackles and to be able to live on this earth as a free being is the biggest blessing I've ever experienced. And all of my videos go in depth of the lessons that you need to know so that you can accept all of these things, so that you can understand what is truth and what is lies inside of you. Because this world is duality. Everything has its opposite. But once you figure out where it comes from, again, this is all in my last video. It's in my last video that I just posted on my YouTube channel. It explains the two vortexes, it explains standing in the middle, it explains the sides, how to tell what comes from which side. I love you all, and I appreciate you all. And I wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for all of you, if it wasn't for this world, if it wasn't for all the tragedies and all the things I experienced and faced, I would not be here. I love life. I love to wake up. I love to experience. I love to learn. It's just amazing to be here. And I hope all you guys can be here soon. One love. Love yourself. I'm sending you all the positive vibrations I can out into this world. I'm sending all the abundance out into this world that I can. My next video is going to be on how this earth was created. And it's going to tie in with how you create the world inside yourself. So I hope you guys stay tuned for the next video.